Imagine this: someone cuts you off in traffic. Your colleague takes credit for your work. A family member says something that usually sends you into a rage, but this time, nothing. No anger, no frustration. No hours of replaying the incident in your mind. Sounds impossible. It's not. Here's something fascinating. Over 2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor named Marcus Aurelius commanded the most powerful empire on earth. He dealt with betrayals, wars, plagues, and incompetent people daily. Yet he wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact Stoic principles that allowed ancient philosophers to remain calm in situations that would destroy most people. These aren't just ancient ideas. Modern neuroscience has proven they actually rewire your brain. And fair warning, the third principle will completely change how you see conflict. Let's begin. Think about the last time someone genuinely upset you. Maybe they disrespected you. Maybe they were unfair. Maybe they betrayed your trust. Now answer this honestly. Did your anger change what happened? Did it fix the situation? Or did it just steal your peace, ruin your day, and give that person free rent in your mind for hours or even days? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Every time you get angry, you're essentially saying, "I'm going to punish myself because of what someone else did." That's insane, but we all do it. The Stoics understood something profound that most people never learn. You cannot control what happens to you. You cannot control what people say or do. But you have absolute control over how you respond. And that difference between what happens to you and what happens within you is where your power lives. Today, I'm going to give you 7 Stoic principles that will make you virtually unshakable. Not by suppressing your emotions, but by fundamentally changing how you perceive situations that used to destroy your peace. Let's dive in. Principle number 1, understand the dichotomy of control. This is the foundation of all Stoic philosophy, and it's devastatingly simple. Epictetus, who went from being a slave to one of history's greatest philosophers, said, "Some things are within our control and some things are not." Sounds obvious, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Within your control, your thoughts, your judgments, your responses, your effort, your character, your intentions. Outside your control, other people's opinions, other people's actions, the past, the future, outcomes, natural events, what happens to your body. Now here's the critical insight. 99% of human suffering comes from trying to control things in the second category. You get angry because someone didn't act the way you wanted them to. But their actions, outside your control, you stress about whether people will like your work. But their opinions, outside your control. You ruminate about something that happened yesterday. But the past, outside your control. Every single time you get bothered by someone, you're trying to control something you cannot control. Let me give you a practical example. Someone insults you. You have 2 options. Option 1, get angry, let it ruin your day, complain to 5 different people about it, replay it in your mind all week. Option 2, recognize that their words are outside your control, but your response is entirely within your control, and choose not to give their words power over your inner state. Same event, 2 completely different outcomes. The difference, understanding what you control. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this, you have the power to revoke at any moment. Read that again. The pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Someone insults you. The insult itself has no power. Your judgment that this insult means something about me, or this person shouldn't have said this, that's where the pain comes from. And that judgment, that's in your control. Starting today, when something bothers you, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. Immediately. Don't negotiate. Don't ruminate. Just let it go. Because trying to control the uncontrollable is the definition of insanity. Principle number 2. Separate the event from your interpretation. Here's something most people never realize. Nothing is inherently good or bad. Nothing is automatically insulting or offensive. Events are neutral. Your interpretation makes them painful. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things but by the views which they take of them." Let me prove this to you. Someone calls you too ambitious. Is that an insult or a compliment? Depends entirely on your interpretation. To one person it's offensive. To another it's a badge of honor. Someone criticizes your work. Is that bad? Only if you interpret it as a personal attack rather than useful feedback. Someone doesn't invite you to an event. Is that rejection? Only if you interpret it that way rather than assuming they had limited space or thought you'd be busy. The event is neutral. Your interpretation creates your emotional response. And here's the powerful part. If your interpretation creates your suffering, then changing your interpretation ends your suffering. This isn't positive thinking or toxic optimism. This is recognizing reality accurately. When someone is rude to you, the facts are, they said certain words in a certain tone. That's it. Everything else, they don't respect me, they're trying to hurt me, I need to defend myself, is interpretation. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, described this perfectly. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. You imagine that their rudeness means something about you. You imagine future scenarios where this escalates. You imagine what you should have said. None of that is real. It's all interpretation. So here's the practice. When something bothers you, separate fact from interpretation. Fact, they said X interpretation. This means they don't respect me. Fact, they didn't respond to my message. Interpretation, they're ignoring me deliberately. Fact, they got the promotion instead of me. Interpretation, I'm not good enough. Once you separate these, you realize you're not upset about the facts. You're upset about your interpretation, and you can change your interpretation. Choose interpretations that serve you. Choose interpretations that maintain your peace, because the event already happened. The only thing you can still control is what you make it mean. Principle number 3, and this one is game-changing. Expect people to be exactly who they are. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness." Sounds pessimistic, right? It's not. It's realistic preparation. Here's why you get angry. You expect people to behave according to your standards. You expect them to be rational, fair, considerate, honest. And when they're not, you feel betrayed or disrespected. But here's the truth. People will be who they are, not who you want them to be. The person who always gossips will gossip about you. The person who's always late will be late to your event. The person who's self-centered will prioritize themselves over you. This is not personal. This is their pattern. When you expect people to be different from who they've shown you they are, you're setting yourself up for disappointment and anger. But when you expect people to be exactly who they are, nothing they do surprises you. Nothing they do offends you. You see their behavior as inevitable, not as a personal attack. Let me give you a powerful analogy. If you touch fire, it burns you. Do you get angry at the fire? No, because fire burns, that's what fire does. You don't take it personally. You don't feel disrespected by the fire. The same should apply to people. The person who's unreliable will be unreliable. That's what they do. Don't get angry, adjust your expectations. The person who's critical will criticize you. That's their nature. Don't take it personally. Recognize it as their pattern. The person who's selfish will act selfishly. Don't expect them to suddenly prioritize you. Understand this is who they are. This doesn't mean accepting bad behavior or keeping toxic people in your life. It means not wasting your emotional energy being shocked or offended by predictable behavior. Seneca said, "To expect life to treat you well because you are a good person is like expecting an angry bull not to charge because you are a vegetarian." The bull will charge. That's what bulls do. Your goodness doesn't change their nature. People will act according to their character, their wounds, their level of consciousness. Your job is not to be surprised by it. Your job is to see it clearly and respond wisely. When you expect people to be exactly who they are, you stop getting bothered. You start seeing their behavior as information, not as insult. Principle number 4. Remember, everyone is fighting their own battle. When someone is rude to you, dismissive, or unfair, your first instinct is to think it's about you. It's not. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. Notice he doesn't say they're evil. He says they can't tell good from evil. They're confused. They're suffering. The person who snapped at you might be dealing with financial stress you know nothing about. The person who was dismissive might have just received devastating news. The person who betrayed you might be operating from wounds so deep they can't trust anyone. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it explains it. And when you understand that their behavior is about their internal state, not about you, it becomes almost impossible to take it personally. Plato said, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle." The Stoics would add, and because they're fighting that battle, they will sometimes wound you, not because you deserve it, but because they're in pain. Here's the practice. When someone bothers you, pause and think, what must be happening in their life or mind for them to behave this way? You don't need to know the answer. Just asking the question shifts you from judgment to compassion, from anger to understanding. And here's what's powerful about this. Compassion and anger cannot coexist. When you truly understand that someone's behavior comes from suffering, confusion, or limitation, the anger dissolves. You don't have to accept the behavior. You don't have to keep toxic people close. But you can release the anger by recognizing that their actions reveal their pain, not your worth. Principle number 5. Choose your response with intention. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is your power. The Stoics understood that you always have a choice, not about what happens, but about how you respond. Viktor Frankl, a psychologist who survived Nazi concentration camps, later wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." If someone can maintain their inner freedom in a concentration camp, you can maintain yours when someone cuts you off in traffic or says something rude. But here's the key. You have to create space between the trigger and your response. Most people react automatically. Something happens and instantly they're angry. There's no gap, no choice, just automatic reaction. The Stoics practiced inserting a pause. When something bothers you, take 3 deep breaths before responding. In those breaths, ask yourself, how do I want to respond to this? What response would I respect myself for later? What response aligns with my values? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" Your anger will cause you more problems than whatever triggered it. The person who cut you off in traffic, they're gone. But if you rage about it, you ruin the next 2 hours of your day. You snap at your family. You make bad decisions. Who won in that scenario? The person who's already gone and doesn't even know you're angry. Or you who punished yourself for their behavior. Seneca put it brilliantly. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Delay your response. Create space. Choose your reaction deliberately. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means choosing how you express them and whether expressing them serves you. You can acknowledge, I feel angry right now. And then ask, but do I want to be controlled by this anger? Or do I want to respond in a way that maintains my peace and dignity? The power is always in the pause. Principle number 6, focus on your own virtue, not others' behavior. The Stoics believe that the only true good is virtue acting with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-discipline. Everything else is irrelevant to your well-being. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Most people spend enormous energy judging others, pointing out their flaws, getting upset about their behavior. All of that is wasted energy. Because here's the truth. Other people's behavior is their responsibility. Your behavior is yours. Someone treats you unfairly. You can either spend your energy being angry about their unfairness or spend that energy being fair yourself. Someone lies to you. You can either obsess over their dishonesty or commit to being honest yourself. Someone disrespects you. You can either demand their respect or focus on being respectable. See the difference. One path gives your power away, the other keeps it. Epictetus said, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you but answer, 'He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone.'" This is radical self-focus, not in a narcissistic way, but in a "I'm focused on being excellent regardless of what others do" way. When you focus on your own virtue, other people's behavior becomes background noise. They can be petty, you'll be magnanimous. They can be dishonest, you'll be truthful. They can be cruel, you'll be kind. Not because you're superior, but because you've decided that your character is the only thing you truly control, and therefore the only thing worth perfecting. This shifts everything. You stop needing others to behave a certain way for you to have peace. Your peace comes from knowing you acted with integrity, regardless of how they acted. That's unshakable power. Principle number 7. Practice the view from above. This is an advanced Stoic technique that Marcus Aurelius used regularly. He wrote, "How small a part of the boundless and unfathomable time is assigned to every man, for it is very soon swallowed up in the eternal, and how small a part of the whole substance, and how small a part of the universal soul, and on what a small clod of the whole earth you creep." Sounds depressing, it's actually liberating. When someone bothers you, zoom out, way out. Imagine viewing this situation from above, from space, from the perspective of the entire universe, from the perspective of 1,000 years from now. Does this argument still matter? Does this insult carry any weight? Does this frustration deserve your precious energy? In the vastness of time and space, this moment is microscopic. This person who bothered you, they'll be forgotten. You'll be forgotten. This entire situation will vanish as if it never existed. So why let it steal your peace? This isn't nihilism. It's perspective. When you're consumed by anger, you're treating this tiny, temporary situation as if it's the center of the universe. As if it matters eternally. It doesn't. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself, "Soon you'll be ashes or bones, a mere name at most, and even that is just sound and echo." If your entire existence is a brief flicker in cosmic time, why spend it angry at people who won't matter in a century? Practice this. When something bothers you, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years, in 5 months, in 5 days? Usually the answer is no. And if it won't matter then, why give it the power to destroy your peace now? The view from above doesn't make you passive or uncaring. It makes you wise about where to invest your emotional energy. Some things do matter. Your character matters. Your principles matter. Your growth matters. But Karen being rude to you at the grocery store, the colleague who took credit for your idea, the driver who cut you off. From the view from above, these are dust. Treat them as such. Let's bring this all together. 7 Stoic principles to never get angry or bothered by anyone. 1. Understand the dichotomy of control. Stop trying to control what you cannot control. 2. Separate the event from your interpretation. Recognize that your judgment creates your suffering. 3. Expect people to be exactly who they are. Stop being surprised by predictable behavior. 4. Remember, everyone is fighting their own battle. Their behavior reveals their pain, not your worth. 5. Choose your response with intention. Create space between trigger and reaction. 6. Focus on your own virtue, not others' behavior. Perfect your character regardless of theirs. 7. Practice the view from above. Maintain cosmic perspective on temporary irritations. Here's what you need to understand. This isn't about becoming emotionless or passive. It's about becoming unshakable. The Stoics weren't emotionless robots. Marcus Aurelius felt pain when his children died. Seneca felt frustration with political corruption. Epictetus felt the sting of betrayal. But they didn't let those feelings control them. They felt them, acknowledged them, and then chose their response deliberately. That's what I'm offering you. Not a life without challenges or difficult people, but a life where those challenges and people no longer have power over your inner state. Because here's the ultimate truth. The person who can make you angry controls you. The situation that can steal your peace owns you. But when you apply these principles, nothing outside you has power over what happens inside you. Someone can insult you and you remain calm. Someone can betray you and you remain centered. Someone can try to provoke you and you remain unmoved. Not because you don't care,